studio today, and an incredible story. I mean, we've been talking about it for the last few minutes, and it's just really cool. So I'm going to let you introduce it, one of you guys introduce it, and then we're just going to expound on this because this is very cool. So how do you want to start? You want to start about the adventure or the...
Sure, I guess we'll start with the adventure and then go on to what Hark is and what it does.
Yeah.
My name is Josh Valentine, and this is Kirk Leslie, obviously, and back in the fall of 2012, we climbed all 48 of the White Mountain 4,000 footers in a single consecutive trip entirely on foot. So point A to start, point B to finish over all 48 peaks, about 250 miles, 25 days. We estimate around 70,000 feet of elevation gained and lost.
Unbelievable.
So.
Unbelievable. And we were just talking before that, and I think a lot of people, oh, that's pretty cool, but you walked from mountain to mountain. So you didn't hop in a car to go from one mountain to another. You walked the entire thing. And this is what's interesting, too. You said the longest stretch was 21 miles. So that kind of tells you how mountainous we are here, that you were able to do that. And just what a great adventure.
Thanks. Yeah, longest stretch of road was 21 miles. Well, basically, everything was on foot. So at no point did we have vehicular assistance to get our bodies from one place to another. Now, we shot a film about the adventure, the documentary Hope on the Horizon, that we used to help ALS patients. Those logistics, obviously, of shooting a film, we had a lot of people coming with, electronics to help us resupply, so on and so forth. But the actual team, we walked the entire thing in one consecutive trip.
So how many of you were there all together then?
Began with a team of 3 of us. Our third hiking partner, he left the trip about 7 days in.
Yeah, 6 days.
Yeah. So it was Kirk and I that finished it in its entirety.
And you said that you did this to bring awareness about ALS.
Right. So we're here representing a nonprofit called Hark Inc. It's a New Jersey-based nonprofit. The president and founder of which, Donna Durney, we knew her father when we worked together back in New Jersey at a restaurant. He passed from ALS, but the example that he set of a person dealing with such a horrible disease, I mean, he was the guy in the room that was living life to the fullest every day. Biggest smile, you couldn't believe it. It was incredibly inspiring. So when we teamed up with Donna with this idea to say, hey, we're going to climb these 48 peaks, we want to do it for ALS, we came up with the idea of, we said, nobody really knows much about ALS. Now, this was pre-Ice Bucket Challenge.
Right.
So we said, how do we help? How do we fight a disease that no one knows anything about? We got to teach people about it first. So we said, not only are we going to climb these mountains to help fight ALS, but we're going to make a film about this adventure that we can use to educate people about what this disease truly is. We can tell the story. We can outright share the inspiration that these patients give when, the life lessons they teach you by facing these mountains, if you will, every day, just getting up, just living life with this disease. And we can use it to raise funds to directly benefit these families and these patients. There's a lot of great organizations out there dedicated towards research. There aren't that many out there that will literally just step in and offer whatever real-time assistance a patient needs, and that's where Hark comes in. And we've been able to use this film as a tool to do so ever since post-production. So
that's unbelievable. Now, so I want you to tell the story though about the gentleman that he would come into the restaurant and just.
Sure. So I grew up with Donna. Well, maybe I'll start better like this. So his name was Charlie Durney. He was the patriarch of a very large family. It was very well known in our hometown. I grew up with Donna, again, a Hark president and founder, her children, her nephews, all very close. So I knew her family. I had met Charlie a few times, but didn't really know him that well. We were working at a restaurant called the Bamboo Grill. Donna's brother John was the GM. And that's when we saw Charlie in his battle with ALS. And it was flooring at first, because I remember meeting him when I was younger, and when he was significantly healthier.
Yep.
He looked completely different. But the amazing thing was it didn't stop at all. It was incredible to watch somebody who's facing something so perilous and just have them be this shining example of just, liveliness in the face of death, literally. So you take a look at that, and then you take a little look at yourself, and you're like, okay, I'm the one that's got some work to do here. So it was incredibly inspiring.
That's great. And Kirk, you worked at the restaurant too.
That's where we met. And it was crazy to watch because Charlie was there all the time, and we sort of got to watch it, the disease kind of unfold, and it was scary how fast it was, and what it was doing, and the fact that you knew that Charlie was aware, because it doesn't affect the brain. Right. It is, for all ALS patients, when we deal with all of these families and talk to people, it's amazing. That's the hardest part to swallow, is that you know exactly what's going on, you just can't do anything about it.
Right. And you did something special on the 25th mountain. The 25th mountain?
The 45th.
45th. Oh.
Yes. So
there's a 5 in there.
Right. Absolutely. So there is another nonprofit that we teamed with. They're based in Franconia, called the Adaptive Sports Partners of the North Country. Incredible group of people. They specialize in athletic events for individuals with disabilities. We met a local New Hampshire family called the Wallams, who Martin, the husband, father in the family, former climber, former outdoorsman, has ALS, is now wheelchair bound and on life support, and another just incredible example of somebody who has refused to let it stop the way let it stop his quality of life.
Right.
He and the Adaptive Sports Partners are he's part of a program with them where they summit Mount Washington once a year. It's called the Sunrise Ascent. So he agreed to join us to summit one of the peaks during the expedition. So ASPNC, their whole just incredible team of volunteers, and the Wallam family met us at the base of Mount Cannon. It was the second to last day, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And it was the sort of climax of the entire trip, because the entire time we're struggling to get to this point, to this day, on time, and all these setbacks, weather, you name it. If it could go
Hurricane
wrong,
Irene, you said.
It did, yeah. We both injured. I had a partial tear in my meniscus at that point, and we're hustling to try and get to this point. We get there, we meet them on time at Cannon Mountain. There's a threat of weather, and all the same, this just incredible group of people, all centered around this one guy, got together, and as a group, we pulled him to the summit of Mount Cannon. So he actually joined us to summit a peak in a specialized wheelchair. So it was just
the weather for the entire trip wasn't quite. We had 18 days of rain in a 25-day trip. We had 2 days of snow on top of the 18 days of rain. So the weather wasn't cooperating at all. So on top of trail closures, you name it, we had it all.
Yeah.
But the weather wasn't cooperating, and we had a deadline that we're trying to meet. We're trying to get Martin. This is like the culmination of the project. We're going to get Martin to the top of Cannon, and the weather the day before, it snowed 6 inches, and then it iced an inch over the snow, and we're going, there's no way.
Yeah, we're up in Franconia.
There's no way.
Right.
We've been fighting all these days to make this day happen, and it doesn't. There's no way. And the weather cleared for 6 hours or whatever it was. We were able to pull him up and get him to the top of Cannon, and literally as soon as we summited, the clouds rolled in and started snowing and raining, and we were able to get inside. And but we had that window there, which was pretty amazing.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. It's and it's an incredible story. I mean, when we were talking earlier, so you've combined so many things here, climbing all 48 mountains, which is an amazing feat in itself, but doing it in one trip and plotting it out, throwing a hurricane that has now taken away bridges and paths. And you guys said that somebody told you're the first people to do that all as one trip.
That's what's been said.
Some people have said that, yeah. So we don't know for sure.
Right.
There could be someone out there that did it and just didn't tell anyone. But a general consensus from individuals that we've spoken to from the local area, most of them seem to say that they've not heard of anyone taking that particular approach to doing
one
it.
trip. Now here's a question: would you do it again?
Absolutely. We're already trying to figure out what the next
adventure is going to be.
Could be, but you got to take it up a notch now.
Yeah.
We've done
right now we got to do it in the winter.
Got to find
there you
something.
go. There you go. Now,
it felt like winter.
How can people find out more about both Hark and the movie?
So that is one answer to two questions. So our website is hark-als.org, and on there you can view the trailer to the film. You can read a lot more about Charlie, Donna, about the nonprofit's mission, about the history, how it was founded. And you can see some of the amazing things that we've done with the film since we've gotten it out of post-production. So we've traveled all over the U.S. with it to various different events, fundraisers for families, where we go there, we do a screening, show the film, we raise money, Hark cuts a check, all that money straight to the family.
That's great.
We have co-hosted a children's camp for kids and grandchildren of ALS patients, free of charge. We teamed with an organization called Hope Loves Company to put that together. We ran it in upstate New York. I think we had about 25 kids who came out there. Hark covered everything. Hark has paid expenses for everything, for funeral costs, travel costs for an ALS patient to go visit family or attend an event they otherwise wouldn't be able to make. Purchase of medical equipment that's not covered by insurance. We have 2 scholarships now at this point. One is for a former police officer, Elaine Tyrell, who passed from ALS. We now have a scholarship at Centenary College. And then the Charlie Durney Memorial Scholarship, which is offered to a child of an ALS patient each year. And all these things we've been able to do by traveling with this film and sort of propagating Hark's mission to really provide that in the trench real-time support for these families.
That's incredible. Now, if somebody wants to, they can go to the website, and obviously, it sounds like you're going to read the website and you're going to, look for the page where you can make a donation. I imagine that's right on there.
Yep, that's right on there. Donations, contact information, like I said, the film trailer,
upcoming
some history.
showings.
Yep, upcoming showings, and we say all the time, we'll go anywhere. So you put in a call, you put in an email to Donna, and she'll have us on a plane with the film and our next mission in no time to get down there and help somebody. So.
At least you don't have to carry the big, those big reels that you used to see, the movie theater.
Right, yeah.
Now it's just all on a disc there.
Gotta love the CD for sure.
Although compared to our packs on the hike, that would be no problem.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, this is really an amazing thing. I was reading a little bit before and talking with you guys. So congratulations on doing, really all the different elements of this. If you just did the hike, you could be, jumping up and down with that, but doing it for ALS and then continuing it and raising money is just unbelievable. So I want to thank you guys for coming down, and definitely check out the website, which is again.
That would be hark-als.org.
Definitely check that out and find out what's going on, make a donation. And again, thank you guys for coming down. We want to hear about your next adventure.
Thank you so much.
Thanks
it's been
for
a
having
pleasure.
us.
Thanks for having us.
And we'll be back here in a minute on White Mountains Today.